My name's Luke, and what I'm going to be doing today is I'm just going to be talking to you about the health benefits of physical activity and the recommended, the recommended guidelines for physical activity as well. So basically going into that, I just want to start off with sort of like a strong statement with that everybody should sort of make more of an effort to be physically active, as there are many sort of health benefits to it actually. With it now medically being proven, there are many sort of health benefits to yourself which can help you live longer and enjoy sort of more of a fulfilling life, by making your such as your day-to-day activities easier, and being part of the social group as well. Basically, some of the major things with health benefits is that it can reduce the risk of major illness. Facts about that are such as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, cancer, can all be reduced by up to 50%, and also sort of lower the risk of an early death of up to 30% as well, which is all sort of medically proven, on the NHS website. And it's free, it's easy to take up, it has immediate effect, and you don't need a GP to basically get some exercise. You can basically do a little bit of research. You go for a walk, you go for a run. You can even join a club such as tennis, football, anything such as that. You might go swimming, go to the gym, and just basically partake in doing some physical activity, and sort of like helping yourself that way. I'm just going to go on to sort of like a few other points with that as well. People who sort of do regular activity have a lower risk of actually developing any sort of major chronic diseases such as heart disease, type 2 diabetes, stroke, and as I've said, some cancer as well. Research has basically shown that physical activity can boost self-esteem. So it's not just sort of like physical health benefits, there's mental health benefits as well. As I've just said, research basically showing that not just with the physical benefits, with physical activity it can boost self-esteem, mood, sleep quality. If sleep apnea or anything like that, something you suffer from, doing physical activity can actually help with the quality of your sleep, as obviously it's going to tire you out a lot more during the day, and it should help with any sort of sleeping problems such as that. It can help with depression as well, because obviously you're in that social environment. It gives you a bit more self-belief and achievement, so it sort of brightens it up, and it sort of releases any sort of maybe anger or anything as well. You can channel that into a positive, you can channel that into a positive nature when sort of actually taking part in physical activity. It can also sort of help with dementia and Alzheimer's disease as well. It can sort of lower the risk of that, as I said earlier, up to sort of like 30%, or even possibly 50%. If basically, if exercise was a pill, as Dr. Nick Cavell would say, it would be one of the most cost-effective drugs ever invented. He's basically a health promotion consultant. Basically, what he's trying to say there is that instead of us rather doing it, we'd rather take the easier route. But physical activity is proven to actually sort of provide more health benefits. As I've said, I'm basically just going to go through a few more of those. It can lower the risk of coronary heart disease up to 35%, and stroke. It can lower, these all sort of lower, 50% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes, 50% lower risk of colon cancer, 20% lower risk of developing breast cancer, 83% lower risk of osteoporosis as well. If you're sort of getting older as well, as you know, like hip fractures and hip placements can be quite a common thing, but there is actually a 30% lower risk of falls in older adults, and a 68% lower risk in hip fractures. basically there is sort of the mental benefits as well. Is that there is a 30% lower risk in developing depression and dementia as well, which is also a massive positive for other people. Good tips of sort of achieving this, and sort of like the guidelines as well. The guidelines are basically that you try and do 150 minutes a week, not even that, maybe sort of just do, which space, if you break it down, you could even be doing sort of 15-20 minutes of just slow activity a day, just basic sort of like housework, shopping. You don't sort of count towards that, but it could just be sort of like walking, because those activities such as that aren't getting your heart rate up unless you are literally running around the shop. Basically you need to sort of get your heart rate up, so faster walking, maybe water aerobics, just riding on a bike sort of like on ground level, or just going up a few little hills, maybe just playing a little bit of tennis, or maybe mowing the lawn. There are a few sort of other little things which are more manual laboured, which will help towards that. And basically doing 150 minutes of this low moderate activity during the week can really help. Instead of doing that much, you can sort of do 150 minutes, which would sort of be faster biking, maybe swimming, more sort of moderately vigorous activity. So sort of like really fast walking, maybe power walking, so it's going to get your heart racing a bit more, and sort of increasing your metabolism. Basically a modern day problem with sort of getting people engaged in physical activity is nowadays that people are less active because of technology. It basically makes our life easier. We've got cars, public transport, TVs, computer screens. We don't to entertain ourselves, and we would much rather watch a game of football, for example, than actually take part in it. So I think it's very important that we sort of go down this route now, and actually sort of partake in doing physical activity to actually sort of maintain our lives a bit more, and go through some of the benefactors of which I've said. Some of the statistics show that in sort of like a physical report and research and study, that there were only 45% of men in Scotland actually meeting the recommended levels of physical activity. There were 39% in England, 37% in Wales, and only 33% in Northern Ireland, which basically shows that not even half of the population of men, even in Scotland, and it's even lower in England, and even lower in Wales, and then even lower in Northern Ireland. That we haven't even got 50% of the population in any of those countries actually meeting the recommended daily or weekly allowance of physical activity to help them with the health benefits, physical and mental. It's even less for women, as in Scotland it's 33%, England 29%, Wales 24%, which is the lowest, and Northern Ireland 28%. So there is a massive thing which needs to be picked up on. That's basically why I'm discussing it now. But if you want to get any further information about this, as I've just provided you with the tips, all these tips and information are on the NHS website. If you are seriously more concerned with this, that is how you would obtain that further information, and basically seek to bettering your life through physical activity. But thank you very much for listening.